We would like to welcome you here to the Cottonwood Heights Business Session on June 16th. And this is our Juneteenth today. And we're celebrating that wonderful day. And we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And this is my first, it's not, oh, it's the 19th. Sorry, I think it's 16th and I'm happy. But this is the week. We'll celebrate it all week. So I would like to ask Councilmember Burrell to lead us, and we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. And we're going to start this meeting with a recognition. And this recognition is in honor of Ted Boyer. And I'm going to make. So in our city, we have the ability to have someone serve on the Salt Lake City Public Utilities Advisory Committee. I always thought it was board, but I've been informed it's committee. And we have a resident, Ted Boyer, who has served in that capacity for 11 years. The normal term is 4 years. And Ted has done such a wonderful job that he has been held on there for a long amount of time. And we are fortunate because of Ted's background. He was the head of many committees and commissions professionally. He was the head of the Public Service Utilities, Public Utilities Commission, and set the rates for that. So he had such preparation to serve on Salt Lake City Public Utilities Advisory Committee. And he has served us so well. So we have a recognition here for him tonight. We are grateful to him for his years that he's been serving, and we just appreciate the dedication that he has shown. So we welcome him up. Is there anyone else that wants to speak? I'll welcome him up and we'll give him an award that we have.
Well, I would also like to chime in and say that Ted Boyer was a neighbor of mine when I came to Cottonwood Heights decades ago. And he and Susan and his son Matt are very dear to me, and I'm so glad to see him receiving the recognition that he more than deserves. And thank you so much, Ted.
I'll just add, I regret that I didn't know more until just tonight at the end of 11 years, how much Ted has done for our city. And I'm in awe at the amount of hours and the number of years that he has served us. So thank you.
After that, we are ready for our report from our Unified Fire Authority report from Battalion Chief Riley Pilgrim. I began my day at the Unified Fire Authority board meeting, and they had their public hearing on their budget tonight at 6, so I was not able to be there for that.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. I have our first quarter of the year's data, our report. So from January 1 to March 31st of this year. There's also a couple notable instances. I'll share those once we get done with the report that we also had kind of in that time frame, and just a little bit outside of this quarter. So for us, for that 3-month period, we had 529 calls, 77 emergent, which makes 15% of our calls being categorized as like a priority one, which is lights and sirens from dispatch. And then our officers or captains can use their discretion once they hear more information to adjust that call. For us, just over the month, so in January, we had 204 calls for service. February 153, and then March 172. And then the other chart just shows how we compare to years in the past. So definitely a little bit busier than previous first quarters. So our call types, we had 3 structure fires, 3 fires related to cooking, an outside or dumpster fire, and vehicle fire. Then again, typical for us EMS call wise, typically falls and people who aren't feeling well are kind of our top calls. So we had a few fires. One of the biggest ones was just outside of Collinwood Heights, as everyone's probably aware. The house I was kind of in that unincorporated little wedge, just off of a creek road. That was in April, I believe, and so it didn't fit this, but that was one that was definitely prominent. You know, the home was about 25,000 square feet, and for us, those can be very challenging just in and of itself. And then where it was set back, long driveway, very difficult to get into. It took our crews quite a bit of time to position apparatus. We were able to get one truck in there, which is pretty incredible in and of itself. And then a lot of the hoses we did had to be run several hundred feet just to do anything to address that one. And we also had to interface, you know, wildland fire concern with that because it was so close to the hillside. So just some of the different challenges that we are faced with. We were there for about 36 hours before we were able to get that one completely turned over. So that was one of the big incidents. And then we've had several smaller fires, which are either room and contents or it's just one room in a home or a garage, that our crews have done a pretty good job at minimizing damage beyond those areas. As far as call volume goes or our coverage, 110 is our busier station right there on Fort Union, with 304 of those calls, and that's just the heavy apparatus, so the truck. And then the engine at 116 had 187 calls. So we're still covering well over 90% of our calls with the 2 units in Collinwood Heights. Then Midvale, which is on 9th East, Fort Union, typically will cover kind of the west side of Collinwood Heights, especially if these crews are out, so they'll come in. Then the ambulance, we have the one ambulance at 110, so that one is pretty busy as well. That crew runs a lot of calls. The second full-time ambulance is in Midvale, and then 116, we have a peak load ambulance that we operate from December till the time the resorts close. Sometimes a little earlier, and that takes the load off of some of the other local ambulances, and they primarily run calls at the ski resorts. And so they're up and down the canyons quite regularly, especially during the wintertime. And then for us, we're always watching our times, our response times. So our 90th percentile is 7 minutes. So 90% of our calls or less, we're getting to pretty quickly. So the ones that are sometimes longer for us is if we're out doing something, training, whatever, and not central to our area, that sometimes can take a little bit longer to get there, sometimes quicker. So it kind of balances out. So that's the data for that. I think the other thing we just definitely want to share and just remind everybody, especially right now, is we're just right on the peripheries of the summer season, especially with wildfire risk. And they've done a great job sharing that concern throughout, you know, the media between the state and our federal partners. We're definitely preparing for that. All of our crews are wildland fire trained. We have a wildland specific engine right here in Collinwood Heights. And we're taking steps where we have red flag days, so where the weather is conducive to fire behavior. So if it's hot, dry, windy, and there's certain metrics that we look at, we'll actually up staff or staff a lot of our wildland apparatus that are normally cross-staffed with our regular crews. We'll bring in extra people to staff those. So we did that just last week. We're probably gonna do that this week. Friday, they're forecasting some significant weather that could be problematic if we were to get a fire. From my experience, we're still relatively green. We're getting close. So I think for us, by the time we hit July, it's going to be definitely much higher risk than we're seeing today. So we watch that closely. We're making sure we're prepared for that. And for me, it's just watching everything that's going on around us. And we've had a couple upticks, but nothing that has stayed steady. So, but we're kind of anticipating that July and August to start getting a little bit busier around at least this part of Utah. So, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to take those.
How do your response times compare to previous year?
You know, I'd have to pull that one up. Typically with us, we're usually in between like a 650 to like a 710. So we don't really fluctuate a whole lot. And for us, response time, it stays pretty static in the sense of like we have stations that are already located in an area. We've done what we can do to improve our turnout times, which is when we get the tones go off in the station to the time the apparatus leaves. We've done a lot of things to make that as quick as possible, but traffic and commuting is definitely the one thing that we have no control over. But what I've seen, because being here for 5 years now, I don't know that our times have really fluctuated out of a large number. I'll bring that. I'll get that number. I can share that with you. But that's something I keep an eye on. We used to track our 50th percentile too, and we dropped that just because that statistic's it's not a really great measurement. So 90th is a pretty good one. But I know with NFPA, 6 minutes is like their percentile, and 6 minutes is like a metropolitan area like in New York or something where you literally can have a fire station on almost every corner, right? And their response times are a lot different than ours. So, but we're right where we feel good about it. Obviously, we'll always take steps to improve that. So,
Thank you.
yep, you
Yes,
bet.
thanks so much.
Oh, you bet. Yep, that's what we're here for. So, thank you.
Now it's time for citizen comments. I don't have any cards. Okay. 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 If you are here to make a comment, please bring us your card. So far, we have Maggie Mills from Whitmore Library. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Maggie.
maybe we all have heard recently that our state is struggling to help our third graders read at the level that we would like to see them. So we encourage our residents to get out to the libraries and take advantage of this great resource that we have.
The library does some things. There's a Level Up program during the school year for that. And then to catch them long before that, we have the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program. And I can tell you more about that one next time I'm here. Thank you.
And we also have Runar Bowman to make a public comment.
Evening, Mayor and Council. I was listening into a portion of the work session tonight, and I was heartened to listen to the comments about some information being made available to the public regarding how that $3 million is going to be spent. As I understand it, it'll be kind of itemized as far as where that money is going to go, and that's really good news because that's, we all want transparency. But the thing is, this increase is still huge, 40% plus. And back in January, the county we had an increase from the county property taxes as well that kicked in back in January. So we're going to have 2 increases in property taxes, which is a lot. I didn't see much mention, at least so far, as to cost-cutting measures that might be itemized or presented in some way. Possibly, maybe when you guys present this proposed budget, maybe you show us some detail of the expenditures you're cutting as a means of showing us that you guys are making an effort. I'm also concerned about the fact that if this increase goes through, we have Hillside Plaza coming up, and apparently we have to buy the property for the drugstore, Walgreens, and kind of curious where that money's going to come from. And does that mean down the road, maybe in a couple years, we'll have another increase in property taxes coming up? What I'm getting at is it'd be nice to have some kind of clarity as to, okay, you're going to increase our property taxes by 40%. Well, is this going to be enough for 5 years? Or are we subject to another increase a couple years down the road? So it'd be nice to know some type of forecast as to what we can expect. Because if you're going to push through that 40% plus, it would really be disappointing to see that in 3 years you come back with another increase. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that is our final public comment. Now we have recognition of Lucy Anderson and Dan Mills. They have been serving on our Planning Commission. They have both served the maximum number that they can serve and have provided such a great service to our city. And we have certificates for them and an announcement from our planning director.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. So just to express gratitude for Lucy and Dan and their service. So they've both served 6 years on the Planning Commission, and that's a big commitment. The Planning Commission meets every month, sometimes twice a month for a few hours. And in addition to that, there's staff reports and things that are sent out about a week before that they review. And they review tough stuff, a lot of emotional meetings and things that matter to the community. So just want to commend them and thank them for their service. They've, in the year that I've been here, been voices of reason and been a great example of listening to the residents and their concerns. And that you can tell that they really care about the community, which is always what we want for them. So just wanted to say thanks.
We invite them up if they're here.
Mayor, may I make a comment? I would like to acknowledge Lucy Anderson and Dan Mills. They have both served as chair of the Planning Commission. That is that's even beyond all the, and so truly, I've witnessed this over the last nearly 5 years, and the community at large appreciates your dedication to the community and all that you bring. And I understand for Lucy Anderson, she's willing to now serve on the Parks, Trails, and Open Space Committee. So this is a woman who is really all in for her community, and it's so appreciated. Thank you.
And then just one last thing, Mayor. So to show appreciation for all the commissioners that have served in the community, we've created a plaque with names and dates of all the commissioners from the initiation of the city. So Lucy and Dan are the last names on there. So as commissioners come to their end of term, then we'll add their names on here as well. So we'll find a prominent place at City Hall to place this so that folks can remember their service. So thanks.
Thank you. We thank Jim for being so proactive to think of a way that we can begin to thank these members of our community who have done such a great job. So come on up and we'll.
Yes. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Great. Thank you.
Right, now we have several action items, and I was just thinking, we call the meeting before this our work session, but today it looks like this is our work session because we have a lot of work to do here in this meeting with these action items. So the first one is consideration of Resolution 2026-34, adopting the interim budget pursuant to Utah Code 59-2-9248 that is based on the proposed tax rate increase and in effect for the period beginning 1 July 2026 and ending after the date on which the council, subject to the requirements of Utah Code 59-2-919, adopts a final budget for the fiscal year 2026-27 and is setting aside in a restricted budget account 3.5 million of budgeted property tax revenue. So that is this item. And we had an opportunity to discuss this and did so in our work session. Are there any further comments from staff? Okay, any comments from our council?
I think we're sitting in an example of why we have to increase our budget, where we're sitting here in the dark because our AV system is not working. And I saw Matt Irvin desperately trying to fix it. And unfortunately, we are just in a place where there's a lot of things that we have to address. And I think we could possibly get this down to 25 or 30%, but we'd be doing this again next year. I just appreciate all of the work that the staff, the electeds, I mean, especially the staff, you have done so much work to get us to this point. So thank you for what you've done and what you're still going through to be able to help our city.
And I agree. This is something that the staff has been clear and upfront with me from the first time I interacted with our city manager, that these are facts that we must face. And I appreciate all the discussion and work that we've had. With that, I will welcome a motion.
Oops. I will motion to pass Resolution 2026-34, adopting the interim budget.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. And I will call for a vote. I will vote yes. And Councilmember Holton,
No.
Councilmember Highland,
Yes, and I would like to make sure that we have citizens like Runar and others really help us between now and August 11th to scrutinize the budget, because this is not our final vote. It's an interim. So thank you for bringing that up too.
Councilmember Newell
Yes.
and Councilmember Burrell.
Yes.
Thank you. Now we have another budget item, consideration of Resolution 2026-35, adopting the property tax impact schedule prepared pursuant to Utah Code 59-29248 and 59-2-9194, and incorporating the property tax impact schedule into the interim budget as adopted by the council pursuant to Utah Code 59-2-9248. We also had a discussion on this in the work session. Are there any further comments from staff or council on this item?
Hang on.
Well, I will just comment that I appreciate the work that has been put into bringing as much transparency to this process. Truth in taxation is quite a detailed and very daunting process. And so thank you to all the staff members and the council who have endured through this and again, with the effort of the community understanding exactly, where the city is at and what we're trying to accomplish. And so with that, I would,
Wait, we have a further comment from our staff, I think.
Yeah, if I could just go through this really quick. We just want to make sure that we're in compliance with all the requirements to present these documents as part of council meetings and things. So this is the property tax impact statement that I'm showing right now. It shows that our certified tax rate, should we adopt it, would be 0.001268, but that with the additional $3 million in there, it would be 0.001808. And that generates an extra $3.5 million above and beyond the certified property tax rate. And like has been referred to before by Runer and others, it's a 42.57% increase on both a residential property and a commercial property. And then the monthly impacts is $21.04 on an $850,000 average home value, and that's our new home value for the 2026 tax year. And then annually, that's $252.45. For a business that does not get the residential exemption, it would be $38.25 and $459 annually. And then this goes down and it outlines the areas where we would be making reductions in our budgets as we move forward through that. This is the general government area. Total reductions in here, $1,062,960. And then this is a brief description of the areas where we would be reducing expenditures should we not do the budget adjustment. And then in public safety, you've got police, fire, and ordinance enforcement adding up to a total of $1,778,576. And then here's a brief description of those funding changes and the impacts from those that we would impact, that would be impacted if we did not do that. And then in Public Works Department, it's a combination of $308,000 and $190,000 for just under $500,000 of reductions, and it's outlined here what the impact of that would be in the Public Works Department. And then finally, the Community and Economic Development area would have $159,525 that would be reduced out of their budget permanently, not to be able to be spent, adding to that total $3.5 million. And so all of these funds that add up to $303,500,000 will be in a restricted account until the time that the property tax either goes through or is altered. And then at that point in time, they would be released from their state or changed depending on if the property tax amount changes and so on and so forth. But this is a required portion, and I can get you copies of this, Runar, right after the meeting. So if you get with me, then I'll make sure that you have those. and as well as the budget write-up, so that there's a lot of information, and that's available to everybody online. And we're glad to print out copies of that to anybody at all times too. We've got several of them ready here today that we can give out, so.
Thank you. Any further comments?
Yes, because this is important in full transparency. Be able to air some of these things out when most of the people will be listening, which is the business session. We have cut 8 employees since the beginning of the year, an 8.5% reduction in our workforce, either by attrition or department reductions. We also started our budget process by kind of taking some low-hanging fruit where we've already reorganized our staff by eliminating the culture division. We saved $55,000 in Butlerville days. We're saving $70,000 by eliminating the printed newsletter. I think we just need to do a better, maybe, I think we've done a pretty good job. I think people just don't know exactly where to look, but if you look on our website and look at the budget and look at what we've posted, we have infographics. We're going to be putting out some more information on social media. And this is because we want residents to be able to scrutinize and look and see and suggest to us where we maybe could or should cut back. I agree that this high increase should carry us 5 years. And if it doesn't, we shouldn't be doing it. Otherwise, we would scale it back and then be doing smaller increases, because we're not going to be able to escape the inflation that has hit nearly every sector of our lives and our economy. So thank you for being here and for being so interested. And we really do invite public comment and engagement with us as council members to review and reflect on what we want for our city.
Just to add to this helpful comment from Councilmember Highland, we engaged citizens with a citizen budget review committee during the month of March. That was all the time that we had, given the timeline that our staff is on to create this budget. And our plan is to continue in the fall to start a new citizen budget committee that will be permanent to help our council have citizens involved with this and help us to have in the future smaller increases when necessary, but hopefully not. We hope and aim for not for the next 5 years, and to develop the plans that can help us carry there. Right there. Not a time for public engagement now. Now, if there are no more comments, I'll take a motion.
I will motion to pass the resolution 2026-35, the tax impact schedule prepared pursuant to Utah code.
I'll second that.
Thank you. And I will take the vote for this. Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
Councilmember Burrell,
Yes.
I will vote yes. Councilmember Halton
No.
and Councilmember Highland.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Our next item is again concerning the budget. Consideration of Resolution 2026-36, adopting a proposed tax levy and rate pursuant to Utah Code 59-2-912 on real property within the city made taxable by law for fiscal year 2026-27, subject to further action as required by 59-2-919 and 59-2-924, and directing the city manager or designee to report the proposed tax levy and rate to the Salt Lake County Auditor and the Utah State Tax Commission before 2022, June 2026. We also discussed this during our work session, and we have opportunity for the staff to add anything more at this point. And or for the council, if there are any further discussion by the council? Yes.
Just wanted for the record that this tax levy is based on information received from Salt Lake County Auditor on June 13th, 2026, as required by law. And so we're basing this certified tax rate based on that information. The certified tax rate exceeds the proposed certified tax rate does exceed the certified tax rate. It's intended to increase budgeted revenues by $3.5 million. I just want to make that clear on the record.
Thank you.
Thank you.
May I just interject, perhaps for the public's benefit? Frank Nakamura is a consultant to the city, and that's why he added that statement.
Okay. We can have comments from anyone else on the council? Okay, given none, then I will welcome a motion.
I'll make the motion to consider resolution 2026-36.
Thank you.
Motion to approve, Sean.
Motion to approve resolution 2026-36.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you. And I will call for a vote. Councilmember Burrell,
Yes.
Councilmember Holton,
No.
Councilmember Highland,
Yes.
Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
and I also vote yes. Hope to make it through before dark. We still have significant to go. Okay, we have consideration of resolution 2026-37, approving and ratifying a bid and awarding a construction contract for the Staker Way drainage improvements and 27th East and DeVille Street Drive roadway improvement project. And we also discussed this in our work session. Is there any further comments from staff? Seeing none?
Because I feel totally left out and I want to vote yes on something, I'm going to motion that we approve resolution 2026-37.
I'm going to second it because I am thrilled for my constituents on 2700 East who have been asking for this, and thank you for being responsive and making this happen, Matt Ship.
Great. I will call for a vote. I will vote yes. And Councilmember Holton,
Yes.
Councilmember Highland,
Yes.
Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
and Councilmember Burrell.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Then we have 7.5 on our agenda, consideration of resolution 2026-38, approving and ratifying a bid and awarding a construction contract for the 30th East and Big Cottonwood Canyon Trail Crosswalk project. We also discussed this briefly in our work sessions in the past too. Is there any further comments? Okay, from council, any questions or comments? I would welcome a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve resolution 2026-38.
Second.
Great. And I will call for a vote. Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
Councilmember Burrell.
Yes.
Councilmember Highland,
Yes.
and Councilmember Holton.
Yes.
And I also vote yes. And then we have consideration of resolution 2026-39, approving an amendment to a transportation and land use connection agreement through Wasatch Front Regional Council. And this, for the public to know, is just to continue our work on the general plan update, which is a high priority for our city. We have not forgotten this priority amidst all the other things that we're working on. So any other comments? I would welcome a motion.
I will motion to approve resolution 2026-39, approving an amendment to the Transportation and Land Use Connection Agreement with the WFRC.
Second.
Okay, thank you. I will call for a vote. Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
Councilmember Burrell.
Yes.
And Councilmember Holton,
Yes.
and Councilmember Highland.
Yes.
Again, it has another name.
Oh, uh-oh.
But we'll fix that.
I had nothing to do with
I
putting my
know.
name on there twice.
No,
Oh, okay.
Anyway, and I also vote yes.
In the minutes, let's clarify that. In the minutes, I
Yeah.
did not do that.
No.
2 different spellings.
I know. Okay. All right. Oh, this is one I'm very excited about. This is consideration of Resolution 2026-40, approving a consulting agreement for the analysis of the old mill structure. The city has put out for someone to provide us with an engineering study of the old mill, and we have received a wonderful agreement and proposal that's been accepted from Dunn and Associates with local ownership here and a wonderful plan for this study. Any other further comments?
I'd like to comment as the liaison, council liaison to the Historic Committee. I know I speak for them that they are thrilled that we are thoroughly looking at all the options. The old mill is one of the only major historic sites in the city of Cottonwood Heights. And so I am also thrilled that we are going to thoroughly look at how there can be some level of preservation. And with that, I would make the motion.
Wait, can I
yes.
comment first? I don't think we should have to have the public wade through a 249-page packet to understand the options and how important this is and how grateful we are for Dunn and Associates. They will look at stabilization and mothballing, partial preservation, seismic retrofit and adaptive reuse, reconstruction with salvaged stone, and as the very last resort, documented demolition. They are a bright light and a hope that there is a path forward. And so they have, proposed this, and I'm really grateful that the city chose this path so that we can look at all options for the old mill.
Well said.
Yeah, this is a wonderful step that the city is taking, and I'm grateful for our staff that's reviewed this and helped move this along. Now I will take a vote. Well, I will.
Ellen, do you want a
Yeah,
motion?
I,
Go ahead,
Oh,
please.
I motion that we pass Resolution 2026-40, approving a consulting agreement for an analysis of the old mill structure.
Thank you.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. And with that, I will call for a vote. Councilmember Burrell
Yes.
and Councilmember Newell.
Yes.
I also will vote yes, and Councilmember Holton
Yes.
and Councilmember Highland.
Yes.
Thank you.
For the sake of transparency, do we know how much that will cost?
I can tell you after. Okay, this is, our work session is where we went over all of those details. And in this meeting, we're just mostly working on our agenda, and this meeting doesn't allow for public interaction as much. There is, I can tell you later. Yeah, it's in our packet. All that information is in our packet. Okay. Now we're going to move to 7.8. We still have 4 more resolutions. Resolution 2026-41, approving entry into a vehicle repurchase option agreement with Garf Enterprises for police and public works vehicles and associated equipment. And we also have had opportunity to discuss this in our work session. Is there any further comments from staff or from council?
I'll make the motion to approve Resolution 2026-41.
I'll second.
Thank you. And I will call for a vote. Councilmember Holton,
Yes.
Councilmember Highland,
Yes.
Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
and Councilmember Burrell.
Yes.
And I also vote yes. Then we have consideration of Resolution 2026-42, approving entry into a lease purchase agreement with Zions Bank Corporation for the lease of police and public works vehicles and associated equipment, and authorizing the execution and delivery of all related documents and the taking of all required actions. And this was an item also that we had on our work agenda today and had opportunity for discussion there. Any further comments? Staff or council? And I welcome a motion.
I'll motion to approve Resolution 2026-42.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. And I will call for a vote. Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
Councilmember Burrell.
Yes.
And Councilmember Highland,
Yes.
Councilmember Holton.
Yes.
I also vote yes. And now we have 7.10, consideration of resolution 2026-43, consenting to appointments to the Planning Commission. So as we've observed in this meeting, we have people that have served for 6 years, and it is our intent to give other community members the opportunity, city members, the opportunity to have input and be part of these citizen committees. So we had a discussion in the work session. Is there any further comments at this time? Okay, then I will welcome a motion.
I'll motion to approve Resolution 2026-43 to appoint the 3 new planning commissioners.
I will second that motion.
Thank you. And I will call for the vote. Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
Councilmember Burrell.
Yes.
Councilmember Holton.
Yes.
And Councilmember Highland.
Yes.
And I also vote yes. And we have, this is our final resolution. This is Resolution 2026-44, consenting to appointments to the Parks, Trails, and Open Space Committee. And again, we appreciate our staff that's gone through the time on all of these appointments to look through applications and to bring them to our council. Any further comments?
Yes, I would just like to comment that the Parks, Trails, and Open Space Committee is an important group of people who do make deep consideration and discussion related to things that I know my constituents tell me are of utmost importance, and that is parks, trails, and open space, 3 distinctly different things that require a lot of attention. And so I thank all those who are serving, and I just want to point out that there's still 3 vacancy opportunities beyond what we are approving tonight. And I urge interested citizens from around Cottonwood Heights to be sure to go online and apply if you're interested in being part of this important committee.
Thank you.
And then with that, I can motion that we approve Resolution 2026-44, consenting to appointments to the Parks, Trails, and Open Space Committee.
And I will second that. And I did want to make note that Lucy Anderson is moving from the Planning Commission to the Park, Trails, and Open Space Committee. And we have fabulous volunteers. She is continuing to serve our community. So those who continue to step up, we are especially grateful for.
Yes. Okay, with that, I will call for our vote. Councilmember Holton.
Yes.
And I will vote yes. Councilmember Highland,
Yes.
Councilmember Newell,
Yes.
and Councilmember Burrell.
Yes.
Right. That moves us to our consent calendar. This is approval of the minutes for our city council work session and business meetings of May 19th, 2026 and June 2nd, 2026. And we've had feedback on some minor corrections that have been made to the minutes. Is there any?
I'll motion to approve the consent calendars.
Second.
Thank you. And I think this is all in favor, no?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Any opposed? Okay, we're good. All right, then I am ready for one final motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Before it gets dark. I'll second that.
Okay,
Good job, everybody.
thank you to everyone who came in our meeting. Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Looking at the package that you folks have referenced, I don't see any costs associated with anything. Oh, okay, thank you. That's what you.
No, it's for,
That's what you done. Oh,
this is our packet.
okay.
This whole,
Oh, that whole thing.
this, I read this all
Yeah.
in preparation for tonight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so, thank you.
Find where it is.
Now, why would you not get this?
So. So Ryan came with this, we would have done in the work. Yeah. So I think what it is, just taking this thing. Sure.
I got 41%. To the inflation.